All right. So today I'm in a weird headspace. There's a lot of things going on in my life, both I feel good and bad, whether you want to consider those things to be good or bad or whatever. My point I'm trying to get across is that everything is pretty much subjective depending on your perception. But what I'm saying ultimately is that I am at a interesting crossroads in my life where a lot of good things that I want to happen are happening for me, but also a lot of things that I want to be happening are not happening. Specifically, I have a lot of successes. YouTube is growing and my business is starting to grow with my practice, but I also am not making a lot of money, which isn't super important, but if I can pay for the necessities, that is important. Keeping the lights on, paying the rent, stuff like that. It's really quite an interesting situation for me because I enjoy the coaching, the YouTube videos, the interviews. I enjoy doing all of that stuff, the podcasts. But in order for that to grow, I have to put more time into it. But since I have to have a quote unquote day job, that takes away from it. And that really at this point doesn't pay a lot. And so the crossroads that I'm at is trying to figure out where I want my main source of income to be. Ideally, I'd like it to be from my business, but realistically, that's not where I am right now. If people can help, that's something that is a very interesting topic because I've always made money just putting in time. Basically, if you have a day job, you have a salary, an hourly job, you get paid and you trade your time. That's essentially what you're doing. Yeah, you're doing specific tasks, but you're doing it for a specific amount of time, for a specific amount of days throughout the week and throughout the month. That's what you're doing. You're trading your time for money. Part of that kind of kills me on the inside a little bit. For years, I've done it just because it's a necessity, but I'm at this interesting point in my life where I'm finally sure of what it is that I want to do. I enjoy doing it. It doesn't feel like work. I want to do it more. I want to get better at it. I want to expand. But I can't do that because of time and money. Both those things are not very abundant when it comes to what I want to work on. And a lot of people struggle with that. It's nothing different. It's nothing that nobody else has struggled with. But for me, I'm at the position where I have to figure out where I'm going to put my time and how I'm going to make my money. And what do I want to sacrifice in order to do that? That's been quite a big struggle for me. That's been quite the challenge. And it's interesting because my career goal is within video games, which already is looked down upon. But I'm at this point in my life where I really don't give a damn what other people think about my career goals. There's people who want to be a career gamer, people who want to be a career streamer. I don't think those are ridiculous. That's not particularly what I want. Sure, I want to get good at a tournament, but I don't want to be a career player. I don't think it's something that's ever been appealing to me completely. It looks fun, and I do want to always compete in tournaments for sure. You know, even James Chen still competes, but I have other things that I'm better at that I want to do that I think I can do better than other people. I want to be the best at that. Sometimes that means you have to sacrifice other things in order to get there. I'm okay with that because I know what I like and I'm good at what I like. That's helping other people. That's helping other people get better. And another challenge with that is monetizing myself, because back to the original point is I've always traded my time for money. I've never traded my own services for money because I just like to help people and I've always done it for free. So I'm at this point to how do I monetize myself? How do I get to help people and support myself? And that has been a lifelong struggle that I've had to deal with. But I've gotten to this point to where my skills are actually worth something. My time is becoming more and more valuable as I get older and want to achieve more things. Things outside of video games as well. Things outside of my immediate career. And I think a lot of people have this struggle, but I think the scale, you know, if there's a scale in your head between like your career and a day job, a lot of times a day job is just way heavier and you focus all your attention on that, and then all the rest of your time that you want to put towards your career, it goes towards Netflix and video games and relaxing and maybe hanging out with the kids and other stuff. And so a lot of people sacrifice their personal goals, whether it be playing games or being a personal trainer or whatever the hell it is. They sacrifice that time toward that energy. I would call it instant gratification. I mean, even a day job is pretty much instant gratification compared to owning your own business, because it's definitely not instant when you put in the work. You don't always see that money. Yeah, once you start to do a consistent like client base or you're selling your products, but the time before that, before you actually start to do it, the hours and hours, if you're an artist, the hours of unpaid work that you have to do in order to get to that skill level. If you're a personal trainer, the hours of working out and building your body to be a portfolio and the learning that you have to do in order to get to the skill point to where you can train someone else to get the body that they want, that takes time. Look at Michael Jordan. I mean, it's almost cliche the story now, but you know, most people know that he wasn't just an overnight success. He was a failure for a long amount of time. He had to put in the sweat equity. He had to put in that time and train and train and train before he ever was well known. And that's no different when it comes to a career. And that's frustrating, because when you work a day job, you work for a week or two and you get paid. And you know how many hours you work, so you know how much you're going to get paid. It's very easy to figure out. There's the whole tax thing, but that's a subject for another day. But with owning a business, there's so much to do. With doing what it is that you want to do, whatever it is, whether it's financial or not, it takes time before you completely get the result that you want. And that can be frustrating. It can be discouraging. It can be boring. But at the end of the day, I personally think it's worth it, regardless of how ridiculous everyone else thinks your goal is, regardless of what anyone else thinks, or even sometimes what you think other people might think about it, because you could be wrong about what they think about it. At least the majority of people. You're always going to have the occasional asshole. My point is that you're the one stuck in your body. I'm the one stuck in my body. And it's up to me to figure out what will make me the happiest. But also, one of the things that makes me happy is being able to have a nice house and have nice things and support, being able to help support my girlfriend. She can perfectly support herself, but I like helping people. I'm a supportive person. I play support characters in video games. It's just the kind of person that I am. It's like an invisible conflict. I can talk about it all day. I can think about it all day, but it really boils down to what I want more and what I am and aren't willing to do. Like, one of the hardest things for me to do is ask for help, ironically, because I love to help other people. For me, asking for help is one of the hardest things that I have to do. And I think for me, I'm in that position to where there are times where I have to ask for help. There are times where people want to help me, even though I don't want them to help me. I think, you know, and let me know what you think, you know, if you struggle with this too, because I know some people will gladly take help, whether it's asked or not. You know, they'll force people to help them out. I've never been that kind of person. It's really interesting, the kinds of personality quirks that we have. But I just kind of wanted to get that out of my head. I've been in a very interesting place lately. I haven't been doing a lot of videos. That's going to change very soon, but I at least wanted to make some sort of video, not my normal kind of video, but it is very therapeutic to just talk about some things, to talk about what's going on in my head and get it out, maybe even share it with people and see where you guys are in your headspace. This is the hardest kind of video, yet it's the most sincere kind of video. Sincere, authentic kind of video for me, because it's just me sharing my thoughts as they happen in real time, no script. But it's also the scariest for me. When I finish the video, when I press that stop button, most of the time, I don't ever share it. And it is one of those things where I fear what other people think, even though this is 100% me. This dialogue that I'm having, maybe I said things that sound stupid or don't make sense. But that's the thing, is that I love talking to people because I share my thoughts, and then you explain what you don't understand, and then I elaborate better. And then I try to understand more about what you say. So I ask for more clarity. And that's how a conversation is supposed to be. It's supposed to be I explain my thoughts, then you share your response, and then I tailor my response to the individual or to the people so that I can better explain, because I'm not talking just to hear myself talk. A lot of people just talk and they share from their point of view, but don't ever try to share from someone else's point of view. That's what communication is. You're using your words to convey your thoughts so that they understand your thoughts, not so that you understand your thoughts. Although sometimes that is also a good thing to do, to understand your thoughts outside. But that's another topic. That's another ramble. I'm not going to get into that. I would love to know, the thoughts that you guys have. For people who already have their own business, what struggles that you have to come across and the crossroads and these choices that you've had to make, with sacrifices, stuff like that. It's really fascinating. And for people who haven't started their own business or their own career, whatever it is you want to do, but you want to, what is it and what's holding you back? Because I'm really fascinated by that. I think getting it out there is kind of that first step. So share your thoughts. This may be a new format. I can't guarantee that just yet, but I wanted to get this out there until some of my newest episodes of FGC Philosophy come out. Just where I'm at, what's going on with me, and yeah, so hit that subscribe button. Check out some of the other videos on here. FGC Philosophy is definitely my favorite series, where I get to interview people, talk about philosophy, personal development, and fighting games, some of the biggest things that I love. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.